Welcome back to the channel. In this video we'll discuss about part 2 of the previous video, that is we'll discuss about data types in this, right? So previously in the last lecture we have discussed about variables. In this part 2 we'll be covering about the data types in your Java programming. So data types are a very important concepts in your Java programming. Let us go and see what exactly data types are there. So next one is Java data types. Very important is data type. Like whenever we deal with the data type, okay, data maybe is of different forms. Okay, different forms means it depends upon the application. When you take an application, different types of data will be coming. Like for example, if I have a student class, okay, in the student class itself I want to register or enroll a roll number of a student. Okay, then I have a roll number. This is of one type, that is integer type, number type. Right? If you want to clearly understand, then it is a number, right? So next one is, for example, grade I want to take. So 9.6, 7.5. So this is a decimal number. Okay. So next one is I want to register his name. So this is a string. Okay. For example, John. This is a string here. Right. Similarly, we may have different things. Right. Here it is a number. Here it is a decimal value. Here it is a string value. Means here itself we have seen different types of data from the general data when you take a document. Okay. So that's why classification of data items is very important. So in Java we do have two types of data types. You understand what is data type? Data type is nothing but it specifies the type of the data. Type of data is specified here of the particular item. For example, if you are creating A, what is its data type? What type of data it holds? That is, assume A is nothing but A is a container, right? So but what type of container it is, whether it is used to what type of data it is used. That is, assume in my home I have two containers. This is one container 1, this is my container 2. First container I am using to take water, and second container I am using to take for my milk. There is a difference, right? So similarly, A is going to take some data here. What type of data? Whether it is water or milk. So here, whether it is integer data, whether it is decimal data, whether it is a string data, what type of data that it is going to take it here, right? So that is type of the data is specified by the data type. So now it comes to the types of data types. We have primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Primitive is nothing but like primary data types. Okay, primary or predefined, okay, which are inbuilt. Okay, we also call this as built-in data types. So these are all known as your primitive data types. Okay, so which comes with your compiler specifications. So those are the primitive data types, and then comes to the non-primitive data types. And non-primitive data types are also known as your user-defined data types. So that is created by the user at the program usage, or known as your user-defined data types. Secondary data types, we also call them as secondary data types, or defined by the user, we call it as user-defined data types. Right. So next one is coming to, again, this is the main category, that is primitive data type or primary data type. Again, primary is divided into two particular things. That is, first one is coming to the boolean type and numeric type. Boolean, already you know that it is having only true values, that is yes or no value. That is true or false value will be stored in the boolean. Okay, so that is either it can take boolean value. For example, if I create a boolean variable, then it can store either true value or false value. So similarly, if you take numeric, no, again if you take integral is nothing but numbers. Okay, if again you take the numbers, you have normal numbers and your decimal numbers. Again, in normal numbers we have byte, which is very small in size. Okay, like 127 size. Next one is short. You want bigger number, then you can go for the short. More bigger number, then you go for the integer. If it is very bigger number, then you go for the long. This just specifies the size of that particular number. If it is a small number, you take this one. If it's more bigger number, you take this one. If it is more bigger, then you take this. If it is further more holding bigger value, then you can take the long. Okay, you don't just want to waste the memory. For example, if you have a small number like 11, you cannot create a long type, right? It can, size of this one is, next we will speak about the size. So size of this will be varying here. Okay, the memory will be wasted here. So instead of that, to overcome this memory declaration problem or memory wastage problem, we make use of different categories here. And then coming to decimal numbers can be represented in two types, that is floating point numbers and double numbers. Okay, again these are also based upon the size here. Okay, now coming to the character type, we have a character data type here, right? Character type, we have a character data type. So there is a primitive data types. Generally Java supports 8 types of data types, so that we will see in the further slide. So non-primitive data types that are created by the user, the strings, arrays. Okay, further we have so many. So all these come under your non-primitive data types here. So hope you understand what is a data type specifically and what are the types of data types and how they are used. So let us go and see in detail about the sizes and all these default values and sizes and all this we will be seeing. If you take the primitive data types, first primitive data type is boolean data type. So the size is 1 bit of memory will be allocated. So 1 bit is nothing but, so 1 bit memory will be allocated. Okay, so either it can store true or false value. So true or false value are represented. True or false value is represented. True is represented with your, so this is 1 and this is your 0 value will be represented here. Okay, so if it is true then it will store 1, if it is false then it will store the 0 value. So 1 bit, and by default it will be having the false value if you don't give it, initialize it or anything. Let us assume you created a variable like boolean b. Okay, so what is the value of b? If you print system.out.println and b value, then what is the value? False value will be printed. For example, instead of this, if you write boolean b is equal to true. Okay, now if you print the system.out.println b value, then what it will be there? It will be true value will be there. You understand? So that is the default value. Next one is character data type. To represent the alphabets like A to Z. Okay, A to Z. Okay, capital A to capital Z, we make use of this one. So right, so that is and by default it is having null value. So here like we have 2 bytes of memory is allocated, 1 bit, and we have 2 bytes of memory. Already you know 2 bytes is nothing but that is equal to 16 bits of memory will be allocated, right? 16 bits of memory is allocated here. So that is about your byte character data type. Next one is byte data type. Byte, as I already told you that it is having very less size, so it is a 8 bit. Okay, it will be storing only 8 bit values will be stored. Means size is very limited, like something like 127 will be the highest value here. Okay, so minus 127 to plus 127 the values will be hold here. So next one is similarly we have a short is having similarly 8 bytes of memory will be there, like 2 bytes of memory will be there, that is equal to 2 into 8, that is equal to 16 bits of memory will be there. So here it will be 16 bits of memory will be there. Right. So next data type is your integer data type. Integer data type has a nominal space here, like 4 bytes is allocated, that is equal to 32 bits of memory will be allocated here. By default these are all having 0 values here. So next one is highest of this one is 8 bytes, that is equal to long is having 8 bytes of memory, that is equal to 64 bits of memory will be allocated here. So that is a long, and again further we have 4 bytes. If it is small decimal number then we can use this one 4 bytes, that is equal to, if it is a long number then we can, if it is a bigger number exponential numbers are there, then we can take 8 bytes of memory can be taken. Highest is this 8 bytes. Okay, these are the basic primitive data types that are available in your Java. You can create different types of data items with the help of these primitive data types in your Java programming, right? So hope you understand what is a basic variable and how to create a variable in your Java, syntax of creating a variable that you have learned. And next one is you understand what is a data type and what are the different types of data types and how you can create the various data types, data items with the help of these particular data types. Okay, so let us go and see a simple program of how to create different variables in your Java, and then we will print those particular variables in the same program, right? Let us go to Visual Studio Code, and from there we will see, we will write a simple program and we will be doing all this. Okay, so we'll come back here. In last class we have executed this one like a hello world program. Let us go and create a simple program, like I will name it as a datatype.java. okay, so just I will write it as a data type. So this is my data type now. I will just write a main method. Sorry, before this, what I will do, we'll just close this and we'll come here. This is a main method. So in main method, we'll just creating the different variables here. Different variables are like we'll create a first we'll create a boolean variable. Okay, boolean b equal to, okay, true value. So we'll just initialize the values here. Okay, so next one is like we will take a byte b1 equal to, okay, like 100. We'll take next one is short s1 equal to like 2. Next one is int I equal to something. So we can take the any value, right? Range you can have specific ranges, as we discussed. So we have boolean, byte, short, and int we have like next one to have long L is equal to, okay, so like this. So next one is we have like so f that is representing that, if you can give, if you want you can give, otherwise no need. So right, and we need to also have a character c is equal to, you can write single quotes or double quotes, you can write. So we'll be using double quotes here, a. So in this character we have a. Okay, so we can also create a string and all that. So what we'll do is we'll just write a simple statement, that is system dot out dot print line of, okay, we will be taking white. So we'll be printing like initially we'll print a b. Okay, so okay, we'll take the same thing, we'll just copy and paste it, control V, single quote, yeah, it's fine. So this is what okay, let's I haven't saved the program, just clear, and just we'll write the java space the class file name, that is equal to data type. So see, now my variables are printed here. So like true, 100, what are the variables I have taken, 10 to 45.333a, all these variables have been printed. So hope you like this content. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, like this video and share it with your friends, and please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, thank you very much.